once you start from the premise that the human person is created in the image of God, is endowed with infinite worth and value and dignity, then that absolutely starts to shape your economics, both in terms of what the market is for, but also importantly, what the market is not for.
Our audience is more used to hearing from MBAs and PhDs, not MDivs. You have a Master of Divinity from Princeton. There are these different branches of Christian conservative thinking. So which
Mm.
one are you closer to? Evangelical Protestantism, Catholic social teaching, Neo-Calvinism? And how do you think that your religious training has shaped your view of
Well,
economics?
that's a fantastic question that you don't always get in an economics podcast. I appreciate it. Let's talk about our faith journeys. Let's all go
Yeah,
there.
well, it shapes how you view the world, right?
It does. Well, so look, I mean, I think the tradition I lean on the most in my economic work is Catholic social teaching. So I actually printed this quote out just in case I had a chance to read it, which I now do. This is Pope Benedict XVI, who said, "The economy and finance do not exist for their own sake. They are only an instrument or means. Their sole end is the human person and his or her total fulfillment and dignity. This is the only capital it is right to safeguard." And I find that, number one, I find that very moving, but I also find it very instructive. The economy is not an end unto itself. It's not a force of nature, and it's not a self-justifying end unto itself. It's a tool, it's a means. And if it's a tool or a means, it means we have to be clear about what the end towards which those means are pointed is. I think the right answer to that question is human flourishing, as Pope Benedict put it, the fulfillment of the human person in dignity. Once you start from the premise that the human person is created in the image of God, is endowed with infinite worth and value and dignity, then that absolutely starts to shape your economics, both in terms of what the market is for, but also importantly, what the market is not for, right? I think one implication of that is that there's a whole realm of life that the market is actually the wrong frame for. Family life, for example. We have subjected family life to market forces in incredibly corrosive ways. That's why our kids are addicted to smartphones in ways that are causing them tremendous anxiety and depression and social challenges. We have like variable scheduling for working parents where they can't plan their own schedule more than a day in advance. How is that conducive to family life or community participation? It's not. It's not at all. It's also important if you have a certain view of the human person, that changes how you think about labor. I mean, we analyze labor as just a factor input of production, right? But it's not. Labor is just another word for people, for human beings. And human beings are not created for the purpose of selling their labor. They're created for other things. And so you have to acknowledge the supremacy of those other reasons and treat workers as persons with dignity, with families, with communities, with dreams, with feelings, and I don't think our economic system does that very well. I think it exploits and squeezes working people. And I think that's why they're mad. That's why we're in a populist moment, because people are tired of that, as they should be. I mean, and so this has all kinds of implications for policy, labor policy, for example, and the centrality of giving workers a sense of agency and voice and power in the economic sphere. And for what it's worth, I think all of this is highly relevant to the future of democracy generally. I mean, Martin Luther King knew that very well, and he talked about it all the time about how access to the ballot box was like the necessary condition for healthy democracy, but it wasn't sufficient on its own. You also needed a sense of economic agency and participation. And without that, democracy was not going to be a viable long-term experiment. And I think he was correct. And I think that's part of the troubles we're having in America now.